What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, do me a real quick favor. See that red subscribe button down below? Go ahead and push that and show your support for the channel. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So, today, something that don't really get talked about a whole lot. I'm bringing to you my top 10 criminally underrated springtime fragrances. Stay tuned. So, like I said, I'm probably not going to put criminally in the title, but it's a travesty. These don't get talked about a whole lot. Occasionally people are talking about them. I talk about them from time to time. Some of these I haven't really talked about much on the channel. Some are relatively new, but I feel like they're worth it. They're great for the springtime. They're great for this time of year when we're having some warmer days mixed with some cooler days. They're just perfect. So let's jump right off into it, and starting off at number 10 is one that I got in the fall. And I've only worn twice, and if you're a fan of crisp apple, you'll probably like this. And it's from Hugo Boss. It's Hugo. Just different. Not one that everybody really talks about. Very, very sharp apple. That's really the star in this one. No, it doesn't. It's not a Boss bottled type of apple. This kind of has an Invictus smell without being so much bubblegum sweet. It'll give you that in the opening a little bit, but the apple comes out more and more and more. It's very crisp. It's a decent performer, and it's got a very woody dry down, as you would expect with most warmer weather fragrances. But it's one that it's going to remind you of a few things, but it kind of has its own twist and does its own thing. And like I said, if you're a fan of sharp apple in your fragrances, green apple, you'll absolutely love Hugo. Just different. Moving into number 9. This is one that caught some hype, caught some fire for a little while in the community, and not a whole lot of people really talk about it much more. It's definitely a hidden gem in the community. One that you can get $25 for 100 ml. It's from Calvin Klein. It's Reveal. Very boozy. The agave in this one is very good. The brandy note, it's very sweet. It's very sweet and boozy, and it's very, very powerful. This is one of the more potent Calvin Klein fragrances. It's one that you can't really go. I mean, you can go as heavy as you want with anything. You can be as cloying as you want. You can choke people out. But I would not advise going super heavy on the trigger with this one, because it's very, very powerful. Lasts a very long time, and the sillage and projection on this one aren't necessarily monstrous, but they're bordering it for sure. You can find these at the rack stores, $24.99 every time you see them. And like I said, for this big old bottle, it's got a unique, looks like a pillow. You know, like a couch pillow. Great fragrance, one to keep your eye out for. If you like sweet and you like boozy, why not? Calvin Klein, Reveal. Number 8 spot. So this is one I haven't talked about in quite a while, and it's that time of year to start busting it out again, because I love rosemary heavy fragrances, and this is absolutely all of that. This is from Zegna. This is Z. And this is probably my favorite part about it. It looks like a rubber band going around it, but it's actually a hard plastic. And this one, if you like fresh spicy and you like rosemary, it's going to be one for you. You can have this in the $15 range, online around $20, but when you can find them in the rack stores, they're like $15.99, I believe. $14.99 or $15.99 for 100 ml. Not the strongest performer. I mean, it's a citrus, fresh, spicy, kind of herbal green, summery fragrance. It's a cheapie, but it's a cheapie at its finest. Your 5-hour fragrance, you know. Keep it with you and refresh, but the smell is great on this one. It really is. Has a little bit of iris in it. It doesn't really give it much of a powdery quality, but does give a floral aspect in the dry down, and really helps freshen it up with the rosemary. This is one that I think a lot of people haven't really tried because it's not really talked about that much, and it's one that I feel is criminally underrated, that for the price, it's definitely worth it if you like green, citrus heavy, fresh, spicy fragrances for this time of year. If you like fresh, spicy like me, you'll absolutely like Z from Zegna. Next, I actually did a full review of this one last year. And it's one that I still stand behind. It's got a bit of a cult following in a sense, because there's a lot of people that quietly wear this one on a regular basis, but it just doesn't get talked about a whole lot. It's the original Dunhill Desire. Who doesn't like Dunhill Desire? I mean, it's got a vanilla dry down. It's heavy woody in the opening. I think it smells great. It's got a uniqueness to it, in my opinion. Not a whole lot smells like Dunhill Desire. Oh, it was already closed. Not a whole lot smells like Dunhill Desire, in my opinion. I do have Dunhill Desire Blue. I have a little 50 ml. It's half the size of this. But you can find this. I believe it was $20 I picked this up for last year. It's one that I myself don't reach for enough. And I love how this one smells. I really do. This is a great fragrance. It got very high marks from me for a good reason. It's a solid performer. And it smells great. It's very versatile. It's good for a lot of different things. 3-season fragrance. And one that's very, very underrated in my opinion. And that's from Dunhill. That's Desire. Moving into number 6. This is one that I recently did a review on. It's relatively new to the collection. Now, it's basically a glorified Aventus clone. It's known as an Aventus clone, but I feel like it kind of does its own thing because there's no birch, there's no pineapple. But there's definitely a good dose of ambroxan, black currant, and bergamot. And that's from Mercedes-Benz. That's Select. Gotta love that right on the top. The bottles are gorgeous on these. The atomizers are amazing. And it definitely gives you that Aventus vibe. You're gonna think Aventus when you smell it at first. But after that opening, it starts to change enough to where you get a smooth ambroxan. Yes, I said smooth ambroxan, believe it or not. That really rounds out this fragrance. Performance is not its strong suit, but it's a cheapie. $27 to $32 range, depending on if you get a tester or where you get it from. It warrants a purchase. If you like Aventus type smelling fragrances that aren't direct clones of Aventus, you'll probably like this one. I think it's great for this time of year, great for the office. Sillage isn't real heavy, but when people do smell you, they're going to like the way you smell for sure, and you'll enjoy the way you smell with Mercedes-Benz Select. Moving into number 5, one that I just don't see people talk about. I love how it smells. It's the way I like to describe it, the few times I have talked about it on the channel, is like a spicy bar of soap, if that makes any sense. It's from Hugo Boss. It's Boss Bottled Night. Violet, birch, and a strong dose of lavender. Not the strongest performer. Once again, 5 to 6 hour fragrance, but hey, that's okay. It's that time of year. It's not a freshie by any means. It's a little bit darker, but like I said, it's like a spicy bar of soap is how I would categorize it. A little bit of peppery action going on with the violet leaf. It's definitely a violet fragrance with some birch leaf and some lavender. That's the 3 most prominent notes. It's like a darker bar of soap. One that I thoroughly enjoy. You can get it cheap. You can get a tester 100 ml with that little plastic looking cap, not this cap, which this is plastic too, but you know, a lot of you have seen it where it doesn't have this riveted edge, this beveled edge. Mid-20s, high to mid-20s for a 100 ml bottle. It's been around for a long time now. It's a great fragrance. Let me spray it one more time. I love the way this one smells, as you can tell. And it's one that I think, again, is criminally underrated. Nobody really talks about. Everybody just kind of writes it off as yet another Boss Bottled flanker that's underwhelming. And I got to tell you, give it a chance. You might just like Boss Bottled Night. Moving into number 4 is one that doesn't really get hate as much as the reason I think it gets overlooked is because it doesn't really project much. It gets decent longevity, but it just doesn't project. It's from Gucci. It's made to measure. Let me get it to where you can see. There we go. Love that door knocker style. So the plum in this one is just so well done. It's a very, very well put together, kind of classy fragrance as far as the scent's concerned. And who doesn't like that Gucci bottle, that thick base glass? Just love that about it. And then got to make sure I put my hand to where you can read it. Made to measure. It's the blue juice with the gold door knocker cap. It's one that can be found from time to time at the rack stores. Maybe a little overpriced at the rack stores when you find it, unless you can find it on clearance like I did. You can find them for a decent price online. If you're not the type that likes something that's screaming off your skin, if you're that guy and you want something a little more subtle, you're going to smell great and it's going to hold for several hours. It's going to smell very, not really elegant as much as more professional and put together. This might be the one for you. The plum isn't overly sweet. It's very, very well done. This is one that definitely does not get talked about in the community that I think is so underrated and such a hidden gem that I know anytime I wear it, I'm the only one around me wearing it. I know I'm not going to run into anybody smelling like this because I just don't see anybody talk about it. And like I said, it's it's worth a try. I don't know if you can get samples of them, but it's damn good fragrance in my opinion, and that's Gucci. Made to measure. Moving into number 3, this house has already been featured on this list, but this is one that, it's another cheapie that I firmly believe is underrated. I've seen people get it off my recommendation and then not like it, because it's not going to be for everybody, because you got to like Fahrenheit. This is Fahrenheit Cologne, is an actively sold fragrance. This is Mercedes version, the original Mercedes-Benz. Smells pretty much one-to-one with Fahrenheit Cologne. It's a citrus-heavy, lighter version of the Fahrenheit DNA. 25 bucks when you can find it at Ross. Oh, it smells so good. Violet fragrance. It's a light citrusy DNA of Fahrenheit. It's great. I love it. It's get decent performance. I get about 7 hours with this one for being so citrus heavy and light. It's a little powdery. The leather's missing from the Fahrenheit DNA, but the violet is definitely there. You get that light petroleum type of scent to it, not overly done. But like I said, it's light. I smell it floating in the air. It's been lightened up with some citruses, and it's a great fragrance. You can get it online in the mid-20s. You find them at the rack stores. It's in the mid-20s for a big 120 ml bottle like this, big cylinder. This thing's a freaking weapon. Look how thick the base is for that glass. Cap's really cool on these as well. Does click into place. It's a good fragrance, and not many people really talk about it. It's very underrated, hidden gem in my opinion, that's worth trying for the money. If you don't like it, you can always try to sell it, or depending on the store, you might be able to return it. But I just believe that the more people would try it, the more people would like it. And that's the original Mercedes-Benz. Moving into number 2, this is one that I just got in the past week that, for the money, if you like a Zara Wanted, yeah, Zara Wanted's not the most expensive thing, but this is even cheaper. It's from Zaharoff. Run Wild. You can just run wild with the sprays on this one too, boy. Because it's cheap. You can get it cheap. You can get a 50 ml like this in that $20 range online. You can get 100 ml in that $30 range. You can go to town on this. Sub $30 range, really. 2019 release. Zaharoff, they get cheap. Bottle's really cool looking. I smell it floating in the air. Thick base design, concave. Similar cap style to Eau Sauvage from Dior. I smell it floating in the air. This is a Zara Wanted. This is Spice Bomb Nightvision. It's the bubblegum Invictus vibe in the opening with some spices in the dry down. The cinnamon's a lot more heavy on this one. It's decent performance. I got about 6 to 7 hours on my skin the other day when I had sprayed my wrist for the video. Oh, man. It just smells really good. Nobody's talking about it aside from when it first came out. It got a couple of reviews, but it's not in anybody's list. Nobody's featuring it on anything. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, I get it. It's redundant if you have the other ones. But if you don't have Spice Bomb Nightvision and you don't have a Zara Wanted, but you've smelled them and you like them and you've been debating on getting them, this is probably the one for you because it's so much cheaper. Performance is about what and what, and the smell is 1-to-1. Give it a shot this spring. Zaharoff, Run Wild. And then moving into number 1, this is one that almost made my spring list, and I forgot to put it on there. And after the fact, this fragrance is what sparked this idea for this video to begin with. That's why it's number 1, because it is such a good fragrance in my opinion. It's from Bulgari, Man Extreme. Yes, this thing took a serious shot. It has been beat up. It has been dropped a few times. I did get it used. Got it last year. Shout out to you, Sergio. The cactus note and some grapefruit. I know George the Fragrance Apprentice. This is one of his favorite fragrances too. This stuff smells great. It performs very well on my skin. It's a 7-hour fragrance. I get solid projection. And it doesn't smell like everything else because of that cactus note. The only other fragrance I have with a prominent cactus note is Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. And I love that fragrance. And Justin Copeland, if you're watching this, I know how much you love Tommy as well. Try this if you like Tommy, because this is going to remind you of it, but it's going to smell a little bit higher quality and it's going to perform a little bit better. This is going to give you that Tommy vibe, but it doesn't smell exactly like Tommy. And like I said, this is one that's criminally underrated in my opinion. Like, this is the fragrance that sparked this video idea to begin with. I really do enjoy it. I get it. It's not for everybody, but give it a shot. You can get them for cheap. They're in that $30 range for these big bottles, like these 100 ml bottles like this. It's actually a very, very good fragrance that nobody really talks about. Aside from George the Fragrance Apprentice, I haven't really seen a whole lot of people talk about Man Extreme from Bulgari. It's got an elegance to it. It's light, it's airy, it's fun, it's playful without being sweet. It's one that's worth talking about. Bulgari, Man Extreme. So, of these 10, how many do you have? How many have you smelled? How many have you gotten, decided you didn't like, and got rid of? That happens too. That's part of the reason these aren't talked about. Not everybody likes them. But I absolutely enjoy all of these. That's why I have them. That's why I still have them. And that's why I'm recommending them to you. Until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. Like I said, how many of you have these? How many of you totally agree with me? From 1 to 10, you're like, yep, he's spot on. Good job, Ross. How many of you think half of them are just, I can't believe he's recommending those? Let's talk about it in the comments. And until next time, I will say this. If you get your hands on some of these and you give them a spray now, who knows? You might just thank me later. Have a good one, guys.